So data services, certainly in mature markets, are really the only growth engine, the revenue growth engine for mobile operators, which means they need these data services to be successful. At the same time, bandwidth is growing at a much higher rate than revenue is growing itself for the data services. So the question is that's okay for a while, but at some point, we're certainly starting to see it in many networks. The network growth network expansion is starting to consume more money than the revenue it's taking in. How do you control that? You control that with the price plans and the service plans, the terms and conditions of the offering. And so essentially that's the key mechanism to be able to bring this bandwidth growth and expansion in line with revenue growth. So the typical plans you see today come in two forms. Either a fully unlimited plan where the user can consume as much as they want, no overage charges, no limits whatsoever. Or a usage-based plan where you can buy a certain amount of bytes that you can use over the course of the month. The problem with the unlimited plan is obviously certain users then can use as much as you want regardless of whether it's costing the operator more to deliver that service or not. The issue with usage-based plans, the nice thing is if you use more, you pay more. But the problem is TechLex research has shown that most subscribers don't understand what bytes are, and in fact 40+% of the people are either moderately concerned or very concerned about going over their cap and incurring more and more charges. There's been a whole debate and potential regulation coming around what's called bill shock, sort of having a big bill show up, and they're concerned about that. So those existing rate plans aren't really perfect for managing mobile data and making sure that the network growth costs are in line with revenue growth. So we are starting to see some operators offer alternative rate plans. There are some examples where if you go over a usage cap, a monthly usage cap, instead of having a significant overage charge, your bandwidth may be limited, or the types of services that you're allowed to use are limited. We're starting to see some application-specific plans where, for example, a low-priced email-only service it could be offered so that essentially you can get the price down to a lower point to increase penetration. We're also starting to see some promotional use of services, happy hour kind of services, where if there's an extra network capacity available at a certain time, go ahead and let people use it. Things like that. We're starting to see day passes and sort of temporary casual usage type plans, more like things that Wi-Fi has been used over time. So we are starting to see, it's still early days, maybe 10 or 15% of the rate plans that are out there look like that, but I think you are starting to see some changes. So I think data plans in the future will essentially have a broader menu of what's available to subscribers. A certain number of subscribers will want to keep the plans that are already existing in place today, whether they be the unlimited plans or the usage-based plans. However, whether it be mobile video or email or social networking, things like that, because certain users value certain services more than others, operators will allow them to make those trade-offs and price them such that the cost to deliver for the operator and the value of the subscriber sort of are more in line, and subscribers will have a bigger menu of things to choose from. To us, that's really where the future is. And like a lot of markets, once you get past the initial markets, you start getting into segmentation. That's what mobile data pricing will look like in the future. So as data plans become more varied, the services that users sign up for and can use, all those things will start to depend on who they are, how much they paid, what's happened in the network, how well the services are working, all those sorts of things. That's what TechLX network intelligence layer essentially does. You've got the router, the network layer that just routes packets, but depending on if one person signs up for service package A and another one's for service package B, how all those are managed depend on policy control, subscriber data management, performance intelligence and measure how the service is working, the diameter signaling router to help move those things around, messaging to notify those users. Like I say, that is what TechLX network intelligence layer does, is be able to allow the operator to control all those to allow subscribers to personalize their own service.